When we think about substantive sharing for hallway conversations, we might immediately just assume this is another live chat or another video conference, Zoom room style engagement. And I think it might be worth just unpacking the different ways that we might facilitate substantive sharing with technology as we understand the real meaning behind that concept. So the first would be just live chat, that a lot of people just default to the chat box on Zoom, and they assume that that is how we can share and get feedback and do polling and these exciting things during the live event. But the problem is that live chat is both extremely distracting. So if you've ever been in a live chat while somebody's talking, our brains literally cannot do both things at the same time. But the content is typically not organized, searchable, or sortable. So you end up with a live stream of consciousness where people are talking about different things all the way through, but you don't have anything you can hang your hat on. And so live chat is a really difficult way to facilitate substantive sharing. And by the time people have already identified who they want to talk to, the session is over, or maybe they can't reach them, and poof, it's gone. So there's a real problem with live chat as a mechanism for networking. It doesn't really work that well. It leaves a lot of people frustrated and really distracted. It's a lot to take in at the same time. So other options are just watching asynchronous recordings and people sharing their insights in forums, right? Unguided, general thoughts, general reactions, thank yous, this was great, broad thinking. That's not substantive either, right? So one thing that we noticed is that if you have live video or asynchronous content, people can react to that content, but it has to be prompted and it has to be structured. It has to be easy to see what other people are saying, and you want people to share for a purpose. You don't want people to just give you a thumbs up. This isn't about likes. This is about getting deeper than likes. This is about getting into your members' thoughts and supporting them in those thoughts. And so that's really going to be about collecting reflections, right? So the way we do reflections is through activities. Instead of just an open forum, with every session, there's an opportunity for the participant to engage in an activity. We call this step-by-step engagement at Unleash. And what's interesting is that people can then find comments on live content. So they might have been watching a live video, and then they can see the reaction to that live content asynchronously, and it keeps it organized so people are able to constantly find those insights over time and continue the dialogue, which does not happen in live chat. So this is really the hybridization of live video and full async into this amalgamation that creates ongoing connection and engagement, and it does it in the right size, right? So we don't want to blast more chat at people. We don't want to force people to participate in a certain way. What we want to do is prompt them to share and reflect back with the community, and that can be done with the right technology. Another way that we might think about substantive sharing or networking through virtual events is through random breakout groups, right? So you could do random breakout groups, assigned breakout groups. You can facilitate different meetings for people in real time. What we think is even more exciting or equally exciting is the opportunity to basically create meetup for everybody who's participating. So anybody can schedule and organize a group conversation with 2 people, 22 people, 202 people organically, that people can essentially set up that time, that space to connect, do it via video, and have a discussion, and then move on, but be able to reference that forever. So facilitated conversations among your members are also possible if you create that organic environment. And too many platforms depend on the breakout during the live session, or you can go somewhere else to set up meetings or launch an event. But this is I'm going to say this a lot, light and easy. How do you make it possible for people to come together in a way that's light and easy? And that's what we've done when we've thought through how to do breakouts. It's really not a breakout from the live session. It's a breakout from the rest of the programming to meet with others who probably have real value to offer you. So it's how can we support that? How can we create those conditions for meetings that really matter? So, when we think about different virtual tools and people meeting each other, it can also conjure up the idea of speed networking. Oh, is this just another thing that I meet lots of people quickly? No, the idea is not to create Russian roulette networking, right? The idea here is to create the opportunity to scan through people who are sharing substantively and find that bit, that piece that resonates with you so you can take that action, right? So you can find that person. And so it's really not about speed networking. It's about organizing and structuring information so people are able to find each other really, really quickly. And it's not some algorithm. It's not AI telling us who we should meet. We know who we should meet. The minute we see what people are working on, we know if we're interested, right? So it should be easy to see that. That's the core ingredient that's going to make things really fly. And ultimately, this is about getting people to contribute to the community. This isn't about, did you meet people? How many business cards did you collect like the old days? This is how many useful, substantive, interesting, value-add conversations are you having? And so this can all sound like another social network, right? So does this require another social network? No. This isn't about social networking. This is about contribution to each other, contributing every day as you're taking in content. And so it's got social capabilities. It can have the same sort of capabilities as a typical social network, but you're not managing your profile. This isn't about posting and building consistency and having a story. This is about sharing based on prompts when it makes sense to you so that people who should find you in the context of your closed community can. And, finally, there is always this, need ultimately to find each other easily and stay in touch. And so how do we text each other? How do we find each other? Is it a phone call? Is it another email? Well, what we've thought through is making it as easy as sending a text message. So we have a texting tool that looks exactly like iMessage, where you can send messages to other people and continue that conversation and take it offline, right? So what we're really interested in here is getting things to the point where there's so much magic happening between your members that they're in touch, they're chatting with each other, they can easily text each other with our tool, and then they are collaborating way outside of Unleash anyway. Those are the ingredients that create meaningful contribution between your members within your ecosystem that you've built, and we're really excited to work with you to facilitate that.